Well, it's official. Hadeswap has officially purchased the Solana monkey business. Today, we are going to be going through how to design a PFP or profile pic NFT and community that delivers massive value. And we're going to be featuring the Solana monkey business project because it was just acquired for an undisclosed amount of money by Hadeswap, which is a automated market maker similar to SudoSwap on the Solana network. When we look at Solana monkey business, one of the first things that is apparent as you go through their founders' tweets and some of their documentation is that their branding is simple, intentional, and iconic. We're going to look at what good PFP design looks like, what to think about when you're designing your profile pic character, how to attract strong builders to your community, how to foster powerful community, and some of the ways that Solana monkey business was able to really network with some of the biggest builders and influencers on the Solana network. We'll look at how you can incentivize your community, what A+ all-star governance work looks like, and then some of the unique things, and how Solana monkey business kind of paired all of these things together in order to become an acquisition target that allows them to build in an even more powerful way now. Nobody's going to want to order a physical piece of merchandise from you or buy your NFT if you don't have great design and a killer strategy for growing your community. When we open up the latest document for their new generation of NFTs, one of their designers, TWX from MonkeDAO, wrote a great piece here. I'll put this link in the description of this video. But really, what they did for the community was highlight the art objectives that they were going for in the new collection. And so they bucketed those into legacy, relatability, and appeal. And so we'll just read through them quickly. Legacy is respectful of the DAO's history and the collection that brought us to this point, differentiates and improves on the original aesthetic while not diverging so much that it loses the qualities that made the original appealing. Top quality art that is constantly improved upon until just right, worthy of a collection for the premier community on Solana. I'm highlighting what these art objectives are because for your own project, whether it be in NFTreasure as one of our community members helping decide what that PFP looks like, or in any NFT project, part of what makes art interesting is when you can pull back the curtain and see what was going on in the creators or the designers' minds. What kind of thought process was there? You want to showcase that you were intentional in the way that you thought about how all of these elements come together, because that intention is going to map as additional value just from an artistic perspective in your project. Their next bucket was relatability, and there's a bullet point in this that is particularly interesting to those of us who are building NFT projects with a physical product loop. So for relatability, they say that the collection should have a level of personification applied to the art style so people can find an avatar that represents them via their real life appearance and or personality. So making sure that there's enough characteristics there in your collection and in your traits that everybody feels like they can find something where they say, you know what, this feels like me. Next is traits and characteristics, i.e. expressions, clothing from real life that people can relate to. So one thing that, I've been looking into is projects that are marrying their digital merchandise or the traits in their PFP collections with physical merchandise and traits that you can wear IRL. And that's obviously the direction that NFTreasure is going to be going. And so having characters that are wearing a piece of clothing or sunglasses, and then having those sunglasses or that clothing available in the real world is just kind of this interesting merger between the digital and the physical that I think is really unique and something that if your project considers can make you stand out against people that are only thinking about ways to interact digitally. Finally, under relatability, we have a style that represents how we want our community to be portrayed: confident, playful, adventurous, friendly. So again, signaling, kind of like in past projects, we've seen projects put out a music playlist. Like, these are all ways to signal the type of community and the tone or mood of a community that you want to bring in. The third bucket is appeal. The collection should be charming and have a timeless aesthetic with broad appeal that targets a wide demographic. This is one of the reasons that pixel art does so well, because it does have a more generic aesthetic. It's not overly busy, and it still allows for people to be able to raise their hand and say, oh, that's like me. But it's nondescript enough in its portrayal of each character, where a lot of people could raise their hand on each one and say, you know what, this kind of feels like me. Going back to appeal, every single trait must look great and be desirable, but rarer traits look even better and more desirable. So making sure that there's still the ability for people to feel lucky if they happen to mint a rarer piece, and for people to be able to sell those pieces for more money to ultimately value the collection at a higher rate. And then finally, similar to logos and modern branding, the art style must be clean, versatile on any medium, and easily recognizable at PFP size, which is approximately 50 by 50 pixels. And I think this is something that a lot of times does not get thought about when people are coming up with their initial concepts. But when you scroll through Twitter, you can see all of the different PFPs that are there, and some of them look better than others at the 50 by 50 pixels. You can see, something like the seal here, very easily identifiable, but things like this don't stand out as much at that pixel level. This one is a little busy, and so really what you're looking for is a lot of space around the actual character, contrasting colors that make it pop, and just making sure that you're viewing your art at this size gives you a huge leg up in being able to create an iconic collection. So moving back to the next step in what it takes to kind of grow an iconic collection, and somewhat mirroring what Solana Monkey Business and the MonkeDAO did. So the second thing was that Solana Monkey Business attracted a lot of builders in the Solana ecosystem, and they partially did this through the MonkeDAO. The MonkeDAO is building the future of social organizations. It says they empower our members to contribute and leverage on each other's expertise in order to achieve collective success together. If you're passionate about building the future and want to be involved, we want you. We're a global network. There's always something going on in the DAO. That's because MonkeDAO members are motivated, social, and most importantly, active in every time zone around the world. See for yourself. And don't just take our word for it. We're known as the Builders DAO for a reason. Our members are the founders of nearly all the major protocols and organizations that power the Solana ecosystem. When you join MonkeDAO, you join Solana's premier community. And you can see a lot of the larger personalities from the Solana network and beyond talking about Solana Monkey Business. So what can we glean from this from our own projects? Well, one, we want to make sure that we have a team that is well networked, or the ways that you can attract builder talent to your community is something that we'll be launching in NFTreasure. The NFTreasure project is a partnership with Wonderverse. Wonderverse is basically like an Asana or task board for Web3 communities. And what it allows you to do is basically create task-based bounties where people who build out certain features or come up with art or story or social media posts or video ideas, whatever the case may be, you can incentivize them by saying, if you do this task and our community votes, approves it, we will release this crypto bounty to you. So this is something that we're going to start using for memes, for artwork, for t-shirt and product design. And it's going to be a really interesting way for us to grow our community into the dev world, especially as we start putting up bounties for, building out certain feature sets and making the GitHub repositories open. We're in the process of rewriting our entire code set through our auditing team and feedback that we're getting from them in TypeScript so that our repositories will be have all of the proper AI automations that allow for peer-reviewed code and for us to easily grow our developer community. And obviously, as we'll see here in a second, when you grow your developer community, you really grow the networking reach and value of your project. So you can see these are all projects that are championed by members of the MonkeDAO. And one of the interesting things about the Solana Monkey Business Project is that they really did a great job, some of it because they were already influencers in the space, but of building an environment that attracted people that were ready to contribute above and beyond what the project already had. So for them, it is building out other Web 3.0 companies, having partnerships with things like Monkey Ventures and MonkeDAO. And so the utility that comes from owning a Solana Monkey Business PFP is that you get access to exclusive venture deals from Monkey Ventures. You get to then be early contributors into some of these projects that are being built by members of the MonkeDAO team. And so one of the reasons that we've created the NFT Threads YouTube channel is so that we can further network with projects. And the NFTreasure community is in a unique place because we offer the ability for any NFT project to print their NFTs and to create interesting physical merchandise, from 3D prints to custom fashion designs. We have partnerships with people that can create all kinds of really interesting physical merchandise. And that means that as a community, we, more than many projects, are available to go and network and find interesting people and projects that can be a part of our community. And then that leads into one of the things that was interesting to me as I was researching Solana Monkey Business is the amount of IRL meetups and networking that they do. It's basically a membership into an exclusive club. So Zorro says, once again, MonkeDAO took over Solana Breakpoint. Over 310 members present, 9 exclusive events on top of multiple key panels by the community's great minds. Another interesting thing is that for people that want to be anonymous, a PFP creates this kind of mechanism where you can post the photo, but still represent the project. And we can see a couple of events where people in the MonkeDAO community are getting together, having a good time. And obviously, like, this is an interesting thing for a project to have, is a network that can go to different places and meet up together and have a common goal and be a part of a bunch of different projects, so that there's always things to talk about, and always new collaborations to be formed. And in any NFT project, this is important, is being able to foster that bridge between digital to IRL. Some of the other things that I thought were interesting in Solana Monkey Business was just how they have incentivized their collection. We already talked about the ability to kind of get alpha and access to projects early on. But for your own NFT project, you want to look at, do you have a tokenomics structure that benefits holding your NFT above and beyond just the artistic value? With NFTreasure, we have a dual token system, the Smarter token and the Treasure token. And then our founders keys have key levels, which can be upgraded by burning Smarter token. The higher your key level, the more treasure token that you earn. And treasure token, that supply is capped and then diminished because we take proceeds from e-commerce sales of people that are printing their NFTs, and we buy and burn treasure so that value can accrue to our holders. In the Solana Monkey business project, they have a royalty structure that I thought was interesting, where anytime a Gen 2 trade is, or basically sell is conducted, 6% of that is divvied out to various holders in the project. So 2% go to a community wallet that the MonkeDAO can then vote on what to do with, 2% go to NFT creators, and 2% go to the holders of the Generation 1 set. So their first collection, now accruing value from sales of the second generation collection. There's all kinds of ways that you can structure tokenomics, and we've consulted with several projects on this, but you've heard it called utility in the Twitter sphere, and really it's just coming up with unique ways for holders of your NFT project to continue to accrue value, whether that be actively or passively. We highlighted how Solana Monkey Business has their community purse. Ideally, that community purse would be funded from many sources. Obviously, we'll have ours coming from NFT sales, from agency partnerships with projects that are looking for consulting, and then from the physical product pipeline and products that are sold in our e-commerce store. And then another utility or incentive that you can offer in your NFT project is just exclusive access to other projects. I thought it was interesting how Solana Monkey Business highlighted the way for people to raise their hands. Actually, I think it's on the MonkeDAO. Yeah. So if we go to contact us page, there's basically a whitelist allow list sign up. If you're an NFT project that wants to give exclusive access to the MonkeDAO, you can basically request that here. And obviously in exchange for those whitelist allow list spots, the MonkeDAO is going to make an announcement to their members. There's a partnerships request form. I'm highlighting these because in your own NFT project, these are good things to have on your website. And then just a general inquiry so that people that have questions can ask them, get those questions answered, and then decide if they want to be a member. Now, Solana Monkey Business is one of the first NFT DAOs on the Solana network, and they basically created a community proposal and discussion process that starts in Discord. Then there's a governance review and community input functionality, followed by a formal vote, and then a board of directors that can approve, or I'm assuming, somebody let me know in the comments, veto if for some reason it doesn't match the core principles of the project. So if we go and look on the MonkeDAO website, we can see our governance model focuses on inclusion and empowers all members to participate in democracy. If you're a member of Jade Protocol, their governance model in MonkeDAO is very similar to how things have been handled in Jade. And obviously, we've had a dozen or so on-chain votes for NFTreasure, along with almost 100 Discord soft votes. And it's a similar system that MonkeDAO has, where there's a community proposal that's put forth in Discord, a governance review that the Monkey team or Monkey board basically uses to make sure that it matches the core principles of the project. And if it passes through the team and Monkey board, then it would go to a formal vote that is on chain. This is important to outline for any NFT project, is how is the community going to be able to voice concerns and get inspirations and ideas passed. And MonkeDAO clearly is a model for how to do that in a way that a community feels like it's had its voice heard. And then finally, we'll talk about acquisition, because Hadeswap did purchase the IP rights, I believe, to Solana Monkey Business. I will put this press release from Hadeswap in the description of this video. But basically, it highlights some of the reasons that they decided to acquire Solana Monkey Business. And more than it just being an interesting artistic project, really the reasons that they acquired it were all of the above that we've spoken about in this video. Access to builders, a community that is potent, and incentivized in all the right ways, so that when new products are launched, they're already trained up on how to support those projects. And we can see that some of the things that made Solana Monkey Business ideal for acquisition like this, and it was an undisclosed amount of money, but you can imagine that it was probably a sweet deal. To be a target for acquisition requires, one, that your project has systems that can run without central leadership, and certainly code bases that can run without, central servers. One of the reasons that we're taking the time and advice from our audit team to rewrite everything in TypeScript, now that we have our working idle game, is just so that we can further incentivize developers to peer review each other's works and become more and more decentralized. We don't want anything, being pigeonholed by any one person or being stuck on a server somewhere that only a handful of people have access to. Having those systems that don't have central bottlenecks is definitely a key in being acquired by another Web3 company. MonkeDAO and Solana Monkey Business also had a culture of their community supporting affiliated projects, promotions, and goals. And so this obviously makes it interesting to somebody who's making an acquisition, because all of the members of the project are already trained up on how to support other projects. And because there are some high profile builders in the project, it means that Hadeswap will now have an incredible talent pool to pull from as they continue to expand into other features and avenues of Web3. Another thing that made Solana Monkey Business ripe for acquisition was the number of high profile holders they have. We briefly went through one of the slides on their website that showcased this, but just the number of project founders for interesting ancillary products in Web3, powerful builders and thought leaders, makes the acquisition of this project really interesting, because just like purchasing a Solana Monkey Business and joining the MonkeDAO gives you access to those builders, we could imagine buying the entire project gives you a deeper level of respect from those builders. And now you have those builders' ear, and it can be an interesting use of marketing dollars and really operational hiring dollars as well. And then finally, Solana Monkey Business had touch points with many different products. Like I said, many of the projects in the Solana ecosystem's founders are holders of Solana Monkey Business. They've also attracted many of the top influencers in the Solana network. And when looking at NFT projects or considering how to structure your own NFT project, figuring out ways that you can partner with other project founders is just naturally going to raise the value of your project. And so in NFTreasure, obviously we're reaching out to projects and offering to consult with them on how to create a physical merchandise loop, whether that be print on demand or something custom. We can do everything from ordering the blanks and creating custom fashion products to figuring out how to create the Blender files to build 3D action figures or plushies, or really any other product that you could think of for your NFT project. And what does this do? Well, it gives us access to the founders of a lot of other projects on Ethereum, on Avalanche, and soon on Solana will be one of the ones that networks that we move to next. And so having that kind of access to project founders and getting them bought in on our mission that physical product loops are the natural next step for building out revenue pipelines, and really growing brand awareness and equity for NFT projects, all focus on that merger between digital and real life. And our goal will be to onboard those projects in a very satisfying way, build relationships with their founders, and then signal to other NFT projects in the space through this YouTube channel that we're interested in working with them. That's one of the things that worked really well for Solana Monkey Business, is attracting so many founders and ancillary projects who, of course, then had their own communities. So Solana Monkey Business gets, some of the runoff attention from all of those other projects when their founder has the PFP of the MonkeDAO on their Twitter profile, etc. So that's one of the, or those are some of the interesting reasons that I feel Solana Monkey Business was ripe for acquisition from Hadeswap. Again, I'll put all of these links into the description of this video. Hopefully you were able to unpack some things that you can offer in your own NFT project. And for our community at NFTreasure, I want us to be thinking about what a PFP profile pic narrative could be for the NFTreasure ecosystem. I'm John Ray with NFTreasure. For those of you who are unaware, we as a community are building a crypto play to earn game where the rewards are sustained or sustainable by revenue coming from our e-commerce store. The NFTreasure store will allow you to connect your wallet and print any NFT in your wallet onto 50 plus products, or projects can partner with our design team in order to curate collections, create unique 3D print figurines, or custom fabric and fashion pieces. Anything is possible because NFTreasure uses our team and our connections with the 3D printing world and with the manufacturing world to deliver unique physical product pipelines so that NFT projects can continue to grow their brand and create their own revenue streams in their NFT project. Until the next one, I'll say congratulations to Solana Monkey Business for the acquisition. That's obviously going to open up the power that community has to build and support a lot of interesting projects. So I'm looking forward to see what happens with Solana Monkey Business moving forward, what the new release of their art looks like. And for those of you who are looking to better understand intentional design in NFTs, I highly recommend you follow them on Twitter, follow all of their founders on Twitter, and then dive into some of the documents, Notion documents that highlight their thought process on many of these things. I'm John Ray. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.